Not for Women Only, The Family, show number 881, Wednesday's show.
Hello, I'm Barbara Walters, and welcome to our program. As all this week, we talk about families. Take a look at this group. Take a look at our audience. Audience, nothing. This is one family, having a family reunion, their first in 2 years. This is the Clavin family. Mother, father, 14 children. How many grandchildren?
9.
9. Great aunt?
Yes, my Aunt Margaret is here.
And it shouldn't be a total loss. We have 52 members of the family, and on the third floor of the Clavin house, there is now a Cambodian family who are part of the extended family. We're going to meet the 52 members and see what it's like to have a family reunion as we talk about the joys and the problems of family past, present, and future. It's a subject that's not for women only. Come meet a family. This is Jim and Elaine Clavin, and all around here are members of their family, 14 children, 9 grandchildren, all under the age of 5, are they?
Yes.
And how old is your youngest child?
My oldest is 6. He's the uncle.
Your youngest child
my
yourself
youngest is 6.
And your oldest
my
is how
oldest
old?
is 28.
And the 6-year-old is the uncle to 9 children under the age of 5.
Right.
4 generations of Clavin family sitting at this table. Your great aunt. What is your name?
This is Charlotte.
And you've come here for the reunion?
Yes.
And this is one of your daughters?
This is my second oldest daughter, and this is her son, who is the baby of the family. So
I see. So we have the 4 generations here. How come you're having this reunion? How often do you have them? And
well, it's about 20 years ago, my family, which is the Grady family, my father, when we started to marry and move away, he thought it was a good idea to start a family reunion so that people could keep in touch. You know, they had uncles and aunts and cousins, and so that's when it started in my family about 20 years ago. And we had one every year up until about 3 years ago, and my mother's health failed. And then we began to feel that we had to continue a tradition. So, except for weddings, which really are family reunions, we hope to be able to keep up the tradition of once a year or as often as we can.
when did you see this whole group last?
Everybody?
Yeah. Did you recognize them all?
Yeah. Well, there have been a couple born since the last family reunion.
Wedding, I think.
Yeah, our last wedding, no, but that wasn't complete. But the whole family reunion, the last one was 3 years, but most of us have been grouped together since then.
Mr. Clavin, what do you do?
I work for the Archdiocese of New York in the Building Commission.
How on earth do you support 14 children in this day and age? Or how
I'm
did
afraid
you
if I stopped to figure it out, I knew I couldn't, so I just haven't put the figures together.
Do you know everyone's name?
Most
Children,
of them.
grandchildren?
Children and grandchildren, yes.
You know ages?
Approximate.
What's the best thing about having a big family, and what's the worst?
Well, the constant activity is very enjoyable. There's always something doing. There are always people around. There's a great deal of activity. It's not that easy to take at times. The house can be cleaned up. They'll all arrive, and then it's a mess within 5 minutes. I like order, and I'm afraid I'm never going to have perfect order.
And now you have 9 daughters and 5 sons.
Yes, 9 daughters. Well, the girls are good to the father. That's why we specialize in daughters.
How many married? How many not?
There are 5 girls married, and 1 boy not living home. He's 23, and 8 still living home.
8 still living home.
Right.
You tell me, what's the best and what's the worst about being part of a large family?
The best, I guess, it was never lonely. There was always people to play with or fight with. I know when I was first married and moved away for a while, my husband was in school, I felt very lonely for a while. You know, that when at night it was just, if Tony wasn't there was nobody.
Yeah.
But I guess that was the best. There was always people there. And the worst? I don't know. Confusion, maybe.
Yeah. Do you feel that your parents knew you? Do you think that they
Yes.
knew each kid? Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I always felt that.
How many children do you want to have?
I don't know. I'd like to have a large family.
You would.
Yeah.
You have 8 children still at home?
Yes.
How many bathrooms? That's a question everybody asks. You all live in a big sprawling house. Where?
Well, 2.5, really 3.5 bathrooms when we get one put back in order.
And you now have a Cambodian family living with you. How did
Yes.
that happen?
Well, about 2 years ago, we had a fire in our house, and it burned out the 3rd floor. And we didn't really have enough insurance to get it all back in shape right away. So we got used to living on the first 2 floors, and then finally, around Easter time, we had most of the 3rd floor back in shape when we heard about the whole Southeast Asian thing fell apart. And we were watching the news one night, my husband and I, and we both realized we did have room. And I said I knew I couldn't take care of babies, but if he could find a family, you know, maybe a mother and children or whatnot, that they could share the space upstairs. So that's how they came about.
So in addition to the 8 kids, this family lives upstairs
A mother and
rent-free?
father and 2 children.
And they pay no rent, they live there.
Well, the husband just started to work at a bank 2 weeks ago, and he's got his first really good job. And I don't know how it's going to work from there, but the space is theirs, and they've been, I think, a very delightful addition to the family. The little ones call me Grandma.
What you needed was a few more people.
Yeah.
Listen, if I walk around, can you introduce me to the whole group here?
Right.
Okay, great aunt we've met, daddy we've met, second daughter we've met, and this little one we've met. Okay, now, who is at this table? If you forget any names, you'll be in great trouble.
Yeah. This table's easy. That's my Uncle Bill. in the
Uncle
green
Bill
shirt.
is here, okay.
My son Jimmy. One of my twin daughters, Kathy.
You had twins as well?
Yes.
Good heavens.
Where's Patty? Oh, Patty and Kathy are twins. And that's a grandson on Damien on Kathy's lap. It's my son Richard in the green sweater. And this is Bana Kim, who is my 6-year-old Cambodian granddaughter. And this is Patricia, my daughter Ann, and her daughter Tara. And that's Jane. That's that
Okay.
table.
More children? You're a
That's,
child. Why don't
that's
I
my
ask
daughter,
them? Should I ask
Teresa.
them? Would that be easier?
Yes, they
Okay.
know the names.
You're another
Yeah,
daughter.
I'm number
No, you're
5.
not. You're number 5 daughter.
My name is Teresa, yeah.
Yeah, you're not
I'm aware of
married.
that. I am married. This is my husband, Mario.
Uh-huh. Okay,
And
this is
we're
the
gonna
husband.
have grandchild number 11.
Oh,
in
that's
April.
what's doing here is a little something. I didn't count that. That brings us up to, it's 52 and a half members we have here. Now, I have 4, what, sons? No. Cousins. You're cousins. Okay. Now we go to this table. Who's going to be my spokes? More cousins. You're more cousins here, and you've all come up for the family reunion, right? Okay, what's here? Are you a daughter? I can't get my microphone. That's my daughter, Virginia. This is Virginia. And looks like another half a child here. That's it's a 10th grandchild. You'll have 11 grandchildren by spring. Okay. Son. This another daughter?
My daughter Elizabeth.
You tell me, what's the best thing about being part of a large family?
The best thing is you always have someone to look to when you have problems. You can always go to somebody for help.
What's the toughest part of it?
The toughest part is that sometimes you wish you'd have more time for yourself, and there's so many people around, you just don't get away from them all the time. You
How old are
can't
you?
find the place.
How old are you?
10.
You seem very grown up. Do you help your mother a lot? Are you able to cook or help with the beds? No?
No, not really.
I always thought in large families, I always heard the good thing about large families is that the big ones take care of the little ones and they all learn how to cook and clean. Is that true? That's a myth. The big ones don't take care of the little ones?
Yeah.
You have to take care of everybody?
Well, no, but they're no different from any other family. If they can get out of work, they'll get out of it.
That was the only good thing I thought about having 14 kids. I thought you can sleep late and they'll all take care of each other. It's not true, right? Now, who's at this table? You
That's
wanna
my
tell me
brother
who's
Morris.
here?
My name is Morris. I'm Elaine's brother. I'm an
This-
uncle to a lot of
This
these.
is more cousins and uncles?
These are some of my children here.
These are your children. This is
My wife,
okay.
Virginia.
Okay, these are your cousins, right?
Yes.
Okay. And here? Have I been here?
My brother
You're
John.
part of this group here. You're more cousins.
I'm the baby brother.
You're
That's
the
my
you're
baby
Elaine's
brother. Yes.
How many in your family originally?
One. Oh, my family now.
No, when you took, how many children did you
The
have?
Grady families is 5.
5.
3 girls, 2 boys.
Now, what do you mean by one? It's just you and your wife?
Yeah, my wife, my son, John Christopher, and my wife, Sandra.
What's the matter with you? You don't have 14 children.
Well,
I don't want to really know.
that's just the advantage of a small family.
I guess so. Now, Here we have the eldest and the youngest Clavin, right?
Yeah,
You're the oldest.
I'm Eileen,
You're Eileen. How old are you?
28.
28. And which are yours?
These three here are mine, 5, 4, and 3 years old.
Good heavens, you're starting off just like that.
I started off that way. And this is my brother here. He's 6. He's a year older than my daughter.
Do you feel as if you know your big sister at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, when do you see her?
He was married before he was born. He was born 2 days after my wedding.
Really? Do you feel as if you know him?
More like a, well, yeah, I do, but not the same way I know my other brothers and sisters. He's like a different generation within the same family.
What is it like to be an uncle when you have so many little nieces and nephews almost the same age? Is that fun?
Yes.
Do they get in the way at all?
No.
No? Do you feel that you know all your brothers and sisters, even though they're so much bigger than you?
Yes.
Yeah?
He's sort of like Rodney Dangerfield, gets no respect.
Ah, I bet he does. And now, where are you? Who do you belong to?
I'm married into the family. I'm married to Mary, the first girl you met.
Oh, you're married to Mary, who
Right,
is
and
the
these are
second
our
daughter.
these are our other 2 children.
You have 3 children?
Yes, we do.
And these are not twins?
No,
these
they're a
two-
year apart.
Maybe they'll tell me their names. What's your name? What's your name? Christine?
Justine.
Justine. And who's the little person next to you?
Jessica.
Jessica. And what is she? She your sister? And how old are you?
5.
No, you're not 5. She's 5. Are you sure you're 5?
I'm 2.
Oh, you're 2. She's not going to give us a correct. What? You're 2?
I'm 2.
You're going to be a television star. I can tell.
I'm 3.
And you're 3. I think you're all kidding me. How old are you?
3.
Listen, just tell me something. I mean, when Thanksgiving comes and you've got all of these children,
Well,
and don't you
fortunately.
ever say help?
Fortunately, his mother loves to have company. I'm hoping the in-laws love to have company. No, with Thanksgiving, no, but because these girls are married into other families, too. So, you know,
So you don't necessarily have to have 52
so we don't
people
have,
every
yeah,
Thanksgiving.
so because it's, we split families on holidays, too.
What did you do about Christmas presents when all of them were home? How'd you manage?
Well, my husband used to make a fair amount of them, and then they didn't always have a great deal. You know, they had what we could afford to give them.
Give them obviously a lot of love and a lot of family closeness in that house.
Right.
Does it worry you that families are not staying together, that there doesn't seem to be the feeling about families that there used to be?
Yes, I think there are. But I don't think it's possible for them to stay together as, you know, society changes, they're more mobile, you know, people go farther away. But I think it's good to keep in touch by phone, by letter, and if possible, a family reunion. But I had a friend who went out to California, and he, about 3 years ago, he had 7 children. He brought all 7 of his by plane to New York, rented a station wagon, and went around and visited uncles and aunts and grandparents because he wanted his children to know that they had family and roots someplace.
Mrs. Clavin, a little while ago when I was asking about the myth, you know, the big kids taking care of the little ones and everybody helping with the housework, and you said, no, it's just like small families. I want to ask you about some of the other things we hear. We hear, you know, what's the old saying? A son is a child until he takes a wife, but a daughter's a daughter the rest of her life. Are your girls closer to you than your boys? Is that true?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's just that you feel as close to the sons as you do to the daughters?
Yes, I think it's a different type relationship, but I think eventually you get more an adult relationship with your married children anyway. It's not a mother-daughter, mother-son, but person to person.
What do you do about sibling rivalry? What do you do when you come home at the end of the day and they're all killing each other?
I don't usually listen to any problems till after dinner.
How do you manage?
To hold the problems off? With an iron hand, I guess.
Did you have an iron hand? Were you a strict disciplinarian?
A bit of a disciplinarian, yes. Not that strict, I don't believe. You'll
No,
have
he's
to ask
not
the
an
children, though.
You're not an iron hand, no.
Did you ever wish you could just sit down for dinner, you and your wife?
It would be nice to have peace and quiet once in a while, yes.
Did you ever take a vacation alone?
I don't think we have.
You've never
A
had a
couple of brief
vacation?
ones.
Yeah,
but,
brief ones.
Yes. but,
Weekends.
But never
Right.
more than the weekend, just the two of you?
That's about it. No
Someday.
2-week vacations alone, no.
Do you ever go out alone, just the two of you?
Oh, yes.
Yes, we'll go to a dinner, occasional movie, occasional show.
I I asked the children what's the best and the worst about a big family. What is it for you? We talked about that a little bit earlier.
We did, and I was probably adjusting more than I should, but it's a great source of joy, satisfaction.
Did they turn out the way you wanted?
I didn't have any set patterns, so I don't have anything guidepost to measure against. I'm certainly pleased with all of them. I'm not always pleased with the way I handle some of the situations as a father. Fortunately, I think the children have forgiven me on most of them when I've been wrong. But it's a great joy, a great satisfaction. I enjoy the weekends. You come home from a rough time at the office. There are a lot of people who are very pleased to see you.
Hi, Dad, hi, Dad, hi, Dad, hi, Dad, hi, Dad.
That's right. And then on weekends, it seems to be an open door policy, and we probably should put a revolving door on the front door because people keep coming back and saying hello or dropping in for dinner. I enjoy the activity, the people.
At one point, we skipped 2 members of the family at this table, Mrs. Kim and her little girl, and we wanted to come back and meet the other new members of the Clavin family, the Kim family from Cambodia, and we will come back and talk with you. We're going to stop at this point, and we'll be right back. We are here as part of a reunion of 52 members of the Clavin family who have all gotten together today, and some new members of the Clavin family, because in the 3rd floor of the Clavin house, which is in suburban New York, there is a new family now, Mr. and Mrs. Kim. And how many children do you have, Mrs. Kim? 2 daughters. 2 daughters? Good. Can we show you? Look. Look. How old is this little one?
2.5.
And your big one looks like about 4?
6.
6?
Yes.
How long have you lived in America?
5.5 months
Where did you learn to speak English?
in Cambodia.
And how did you happen to come here? Did you understand what I said? What brought you to this country? How did you have to leave Cambodia?
Yes, we had to leave Cambodia because Cambodia is
So you were refugees
war?
from Cambodia?
yes.
What is your impression of our country now that you're here, of your new country?
I found America is a land of hope and freedom. And I really like it.
Do the children go to regular schools here?
Oh, yes,
Are they enjoying it?
very much.
Yes. Well,
She's in the 1st grade.
She's in 1st grade. You like school? Yes. Can you tell me what you like best?
School.
School. Every part of school you like best, huh? Well, we welcome you, and we hope you'll be very happy in our country. And I'm sorry I asked you what brought you here. I know it's very painful to think back about it. But it must be very nice to have a big family around you.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. I wanted to ask a little bit, Mrs. Clavin, when we were talking earlier in the program, earlier this week, we talked with a couple, Joan and Tom Braden, who had 8 kids, and they talked about some of the problems, some of the rebellion of the children. Some of them were into drugs, some of them went through a sort of hippie stage. Did this happen with any of your children?
Yes. I think there's an inevitable tension as kids hit a certain age, the teen years. They begin to want to know who they are. I mean, they know that they're my son or my daughter and so-and-so's brother and sister, but you know, the identity thing. Who am I? Apart from my family, who am I? And they begin to
Mm-hmm.
challenge all the family values. And I think this is good.
Was it tough for you?
It was very hard. And it will continue to be hard as each one hits that age, because they have to eventually arrive at what values that they're going to live by. You know, and they're not going to be our values as such.
Are your teenagers now different from the teenagers of 5 years ago? And you've got them. Your daughter thinks yes.
I
Oh,
think
very
I'm
much
different.
so.
You think you're different?
I think I'm different.
yeah.
I'm more relaxed about it, less tense about some of the things.
What do you think?
I think they're very different. I think they're more assertive than we were. I think we were more, not afraid of our parents, but we, my mother will disagree with this, but we felt more obliged to obey, things like that. And my mother is more lenient with the younger ones, and I think it's good. They were fairly strict with us. And, well, times have changed, but the younger ones seem more relaxed. They seem to me, they seem to know better who they are. And
Any of you into drugs? Were you? Did you know?
I wasn't, but...
Did you know if your kids were? Sometimes we hear with a large family, it's hard to
I
keep
think you
track.
would know if they were into anything, you know, any hard drugs. As far as the marijuana, you could suspect, you know, but
Should I ask you the question that was asked Mrs. Ford? How would you have felt, or how did you feel, or how would you feel if one of your daughters came home and said she was having an affair?
well, any of those things, I mean, I think as parents you have to say how you, I have to be able to say these are my values, that they mean something to me. My faith is something, that it is mine, and these the values mean something to me. At least they have something to knock against. You know, if you say, well, honey, you can do what you want, or this way or that way, it's sort of thing that it doesn't give them anything. I mean, they may very well go against what I feel very strongly about. But at least they know they've got something to react against. No, I can't be weak about it. I mean, I would not permit a daughter of mine to sleep in the house with, you know, my knowledge, that sort of thing, as though it didn't matter.
We just have 1 minute left, so kind of in summary, can I ask all of the Clavin children, sons and daughters-in-laws, and grandchildren, we've got a whole pile of grandchildren there, to stand up in the audience so that we can see them all and maybe finally have a salute to Mommy and Daddy. Some of them are there. Can I have the rest of the Clavin sons, sons-in-laws, daughters, daughters-in-law, and children stand? You're the eldest daughter. Would you like to say anything to Mommy and your mother and father on this meeting?
Now that I have 3 children of my own, I have to thank her for her patience. She has a lot more than I do, or at least I think so. I always thought, you know, she had it easy, but now I realize she did a lot of work for us, and I'd like to thank her.
And as one of the sons-in-law, what's it like in this family?
It's confusing at times, but it's enjoyable, very enjoyable.
Would you like to say anything to your mother and father?
I say the same thing Eileen did. I never realized what it was like until I had children of my own, and I thought my mother was impatient. Now I give her credit.
It was worth it, perhaps, Mrs. Clavin? Finally, somebody said, hey, Mom, you did something right?
Takes a while.
Takes a while. We wish you a very happy reunion. We're glad that you had it on this program. It's a beautiful family. I don't know whether they just all washed up today, but you're a lovely-looking family, and you make us feel very good to see all of you and the cousins and nieces and nephews, and have a good day and continue to enjoy with your own families. Tomorrow, experts tell us how to keep the family going. We'll be right back with a few final words on this program.